Aside from the well-documented traits and characteristics of the INFJ personality, there are certain habits that make it easy to decipher whether or not someone is truly this type. In fact, while it may not seem personality type related, most INFJs actually hold the same sort of habits in their day-to-day lives, sometimes to the point of being exactly like one another. So, what are these specific INFJ habits that unquestionably type someone as an INFJ? Welcome or welcome back, psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it. Starting with number 1. You're constantly trying to connect the dots. The thought webs of the INFJ's inner minds are both fascinating and brilliant. Through their extroverted sensing and their introverted intuition, INFJs have a keen ability to not only observe the smallest details of everything they see, hear, touch, and smell, but they also have a unique way of filing them away. Of course, these are unique habits of their own that would certainly lead to the possibility of someone being an INFJ or an introverted intuitive at the very least. However, it goes much deeper than the simple absorption and organizing of these observations for this personality type. In fact, it's in the way INFJs connect these thoughts that give them the profound insights and understandings of the world around them. While this process is for the most part effortless, it can be considered a mental habit as it's a process they couldn't go without. The constantly connecting of information is not only a dead INFJ giveaway, but it is also the foundation to their future predicting and problem-solving abilities they're most known for. While ruminating in their heads, as they do so often, INFJs web specific findings in order to find potential future outcomes, solutions, and dangers that help them with their already present intuitive hunches. Number 2. You're always Googling the most random things. As you can see from a simple type into Google and the search suggestions that follow, INFJs aren't the only ones that Google some strange things. But for the INFJ and their relentlessly curious mind, these Google searches usually happen multiple times a day. Whether it's the meaning behind certain metaphors, the explanations of newfound phenomenons, the menu to the restaurant they'll be visiting that evening, things to do in their area, conspiracy theories, self-care ideas, home hacks, and the list goes on. INFJs love research and information, but furthermore, they can't rest until they've found specifically satisfying answers to their burning questions. They prefer to settle debates with factual information, even the debates that happen in their own heads. Like we've mentioned in a previous video, INFJs are usually quite protective of their search history, as they wouldn't want anyone to be granted such access to their inner thoughts and wonders. Number 3. You love to play devil's advocate. Playing devil's advocate. The act of arguing or presenting the opinions of the opposite side even though the person doesn't agree with the opinion they're presenting. Sure, some of us do this from time to time, regardless if it's for the means of remaining noticeably open to views that oppose our own, or it's for the purpose of letting someone know that we see their side of the story. Despite having a different opinion on it, playing devil's advocate isn't as evil as it sounds. For the INFJ specifically, their habit of playing devil's advocate goes far beyond showcasing their open-mindedness. In fact, for the INFJ, their ability, or habit rather, of playing devil's advocate has much more to do with their need to see things from every angle. Although it makes it more difficult for them to draw a solid conclusion on most concepts, it allows them to see everything from a much broader view, ultimately giving them a more rounded understanding of most things. This personality type is much more focused on being informed rather than being right, and because of that, they may argue against their own opinion for the sake of finding a better one. Number 4. You can't help but overplan or panic when you can't. Organized and perfectionistic, every INFJ likes to prepare in their own way. Some are more extreme than others. Yet, it's hard to say if someone is a true INFJ if they feel comfortable not preparing at all. Whether it be for something worth preparing for, like a job interview, a work presentation, or becoming a new parent. Or something simple, like going out to dinner, enjoying a spontaneous trip, or meeting with some old friends. There's no limit to the INFJ's preparation, and for some people with this personality type, there's no drawn line between things that are worth preparing for and not worth preparing for. This habit, which is related to their connecting web of thoughts, all comes down to the fact that they know they can't fully enjoy the experience to come if they haven't prepared themselves for it in one way or another. In fact, if an INFJ is encouraged to practice their spontaneity, it can become extremely difficult for them to let go and not be distracted by all the ways in which they are prepared. This isn't to say that INFJs aren't able to go with the flow when needed, but internally, they will be thinking just how much better it could be if they would have planned. Number 5. You make specific routines and rituals when doing certain tasks. Speaking of over-planning, INFJs have specific steps they take in almost everything they do. While every INFJ makes their own fitting routines, everyone with this methodical personality type has certain tasks they must do in a specific order, accompanied by specific stimuli or at certain times of the day. One Redditor explained their own experience with this habit by saying they can't have a good workout unless they have headphones in and a piece of gum to chew. It's a systematic habit they created and practiced that now it's just not the same without it. Other examples would be brushing teeth specifically before or after breakfast and never the opposite, playing a certain genre of music while cleaning, lighting a candle before having a bath, or preparing tomorrow's dinner the night before. INFJs come up with all sorts of specifics that most don't even put much thought into until it's pointed out. Number 6. You're always slipping into dreamland. Known as the dreamer, this intuitive personality type can't help but spend as many waking hours in the wanderings of their inner minds as possible. They not only have fascinating thought-connecting abilities, but they also have some of the most wildly vivid imaginative visions one could only dream of. In fact, for the INFJ type, this dream world is where they feel most comfortable, away from the chaos and unpredictability of their outer world. It's in this dream world that some of the most famous INFJs spawn their ideas and visions into reality. However, this habit doesn't mean they're not being productive in their outer world. In fact, it's when they're busy engaged in a task or two that they slip into this dreamlike state. Whatever the inner distraction may be, INFJs have a unique ability of utilizing their autopilot mode to successfully complete whatever task is at hand despite not being 100% mentally there. And lastly, number 7. You make excuses to not leave the house. INFJs are efficient creatures, independent and focused. They like to get the job done and get it done right. When it comes to running errands and other responsibilities that involve leaving their nestled nest, they like to get them done when they're already out of the house. And so, when the INFJ finds themselves needing that one ingredient for a recipe they're making, or forgetting to run an important errand on the way home, they will make up every excuse in the book to not have to leave the house again. They will go as far as to hold off their already started recipe for the next day, pay the overdue library book fees, or cancel social plans in order to appreciate their solitude, peace, and quiet for what it is. Whether they justify their decisions in the name of self-care, busy traffic, saving money, or weather, even the most logical and motivated INFJ has the habit of convincing themselves that leaving the house again isn't for their best interest. Of course, contradictingly, the time when they do actually push themselves to go, they really regret it and may even find relief that they don't have to do it the next day. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, do you have each of these habits as an INFJ? And do you think every INFJ could relate to them? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.